Do you want your cup? Do you want your cup?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. All Pro JAFFOs doing the recap for the A7FL Championship.
Oh, that happened today?
As you can see,
That's okay. That's okay.
everybody's here after the game, which obviously we're all still buzzed about in more ways than one.
Indeed.
Fellas,
Oh,
everybody, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Yeah. How the hell are we feeling about what the fuck just happened in the A7FL Championship game?
I think that's exactly what I said as soon as the mics went black. Like the show ended. That story just completely clotsing on the fainting couch.
I was going to speak to God today.
Well, you technically were God on Sunday.
Yeah, that's funny because I was God the other day. True. That's true. Yeah.
Almost like the disembodied voice I'm around before back in Mexico was so big. Oh, disembodied voice, yes.
And I think I can't speak for Rob and Corey, but I'll speak for Rob and Corey. It was the greatest A7FL game I've ever seen. And Paul Gardella, our researcher, graphics guy, all around math genius, said that was the greatest spring. Or was it you, Zach?
That was me.
Greatest spring football game ever played. I'm inclined to agree. Obviously, I'm biased, supremely biased in that respect. But everything about that game, from atmosphere to the two teams that were playing, all of the stories going into that game, whether it's the two super teams or Florida being denied by Baltimore last year and finally making it first, all the first time narratives that Rob talked about in his amazing intro.
That got me hyped on.
And
That got me hyped.
all of that leading to it had to be a great game. But the way it became a great game was plays from people that you didn't expect, like number 91 in this game here. About as we talk about random players getting big interceptions, Quincy Burt's a guy that we didn't.
Ass on
Yes.
Here's the catch. I'm still right because he's ass at not as a football player.
Can we just say that Quincy Burst for the Insomniacs and Quincy Burst for the 10
Yeah, that was
let's make the most
plays, right?
and I think
I'm so
not know if they're a different person. I do not know if they're 100% a different person at this point.
It might be like a split personality thing, like Venom and the guy that plays Venom.
Eddie Brock. Or the slander that we did. He wanted to prove it twice as two players in one.
It is weird where you're in a situation where both guys are technically named after an Atari game from very early 80s.
I never knew how to play that damn game.
I love Cuber.
He was jumping off the blocks. Out of here.
Speaking of jumping off the blocks,
He was Kirby. Period.
Deontay Henderson. Holy mother of Batman.
He definitely had a game, but he had his hands full, man. Like he had to deal with a lot of holding, a lot of blocking. He had to deal with Kenny fucking Mack and Big Oost, who were really trying to do something to him. Even RTC got a little piece of that action on the blocks. So Deontay had his hands full. He played a decent game, but I don't think he made the impact that would have changed the game.
Watching that Insomniacs offensive line up close for the first time was so much fun. And Rob, as an offensive lineman, what was it about that offensive line play that really set them up?
The refs didn't mind them holding because if it was me,
So there was
both sides.
the Nightcrawlers got away with some shit.
But here's the crazy part, right? I would say that the Nightcrawlers got away with holding, but they had no offensive fit.
I was going to say, John Cena is the best player of the line.
Any chance the Nightcrawlers, listen,
me to come back, I want it.
Big Oos and Kenny Mack are monsters, and they were handling that tiny defensive line front that the Nightcrawlers didn't have.
Left? I'm not touching.
And there was really no answer for what those guys were able to do. And if the refs aren't calling the many holding calls that were there, they were letting those boys play, and that's just part of the game at the end of the day. I don't think that, that was like detrimental to the win. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it takes away from
I
it.
think I think in that point, it's how egregious it is because there were some holding calls. The Insomniacs gave over 150 yards, was it, David? In penalty yards?
It was about over 120.
120.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it, and that's kind of been a theme in the championship game the last couple of years because you had almost 100 or over 100 penalty yards. This game, sometime in the championship game, there's
A little huss, actually.
People are wondering what the hell is going on. We're also playing Madden against everybody. We're
I
just
threw a pick six.
relaxing as much as possible.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting it up. I threw a pick six.
He shakes the PAT.
The PAT because the fucking controller.
But I had a thought going. Could some of that?
You have
The lack of.
you just doxed yourself.
Yeah. Okay. But the
Corey just driving like that boat in the garage, just driving it right in the half.
refs didn't want to take over the game, so could that have played into some of that?
Yeah, that's why I think it was like if it was egregious or not.
Did they not want to take over the game? Listen, we can be
Well,
unbiased. The game is
to the
over,
point where they wouldn't call things that you probably would.
and then they call things that I probably wouldn't. So the thing is, respectfully, the game's over. The Insomniacs won. Nothing I'm going to say here is going to take away from that. They're the champs. But some of those calls and some of those spots bailed them the fuck out. A lot of the hands to the face bailed them the fuck out. And they were incidental. I understand if they're like on purpose, but these guys are like moving around. One of the refs told me they wanted to call a hands to the face and they missed it because it started from the shoulder and went up to the face. But if I'm stiff arming your shoulder and you slide down and my hand, your face comes to my hand. How's that on me? That was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a few calls that even people in the chat were saying, oh, the refs are bailing them out. It was an even game. I feel like the refs were like 89% right in their calls, which is very high for any sport. Any sport, 89% is fine.
I hate how fucking good you are at your job.
I'm not that good.
Well, here's, I was down on the sideline, and Will Franklin, very early in that game, people were complaining about calls, and he looked at him and he goes, boys, we're letting you play. We're going to let you guys handle this, or we're not going to be involved in
And the good thing about it was there were 6 refs on the field.
Yeah, that was great.
Six
That was
reps,
great.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't so, oh my God, the refs cost us.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
In true A7FL fashion, and honestly, I wish people could have got a little bit of the show between the show and me and Big Rob were just having fun watching the game and then just bringing it to everybody. But right before the interception, not interception play, Rob literally said the last 5 minutes of an A7 game are always crazy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did say that.
I think there might be one of those plays where it's going to be decided by the refs.
Refs, right.
And it literally was the next play. But I will say, after talking with Will Franklin back at the house, in the situation that they were in, with the information that they had, I think they made the best decision. And
I agree.
really breaking it down.
And I
The
would
best thing,
and I think the replay officials got it right. Like
even more than that, how does the replay go? It's has to be conclusive evidence in the replay. So when we saw the ref hesitate, a lot of us were like, wondering, why is he waiting? You know why? Because that first call is the most important part of that play, because
Right.
depending on the way that they call it on the
If he
field
goes,
is what we have to prove against.
you got to prove that it wasn't an interception.
He,
But if
Right.
he doesn't say anything,
Right now.
Will
you have to prove
Franklin
it.
used the referees, I mean, used the referee in that case very, very well, because there were 2 referees, Will and one other, that had good angles on somebody.
Use the referees.
He waited.
It's like Will's
He waited.
referees were like AI bots.
Yeah.
And he hesitated and he waited. He was pointing at that referee to see what that referee saw. And that referee went, I have incomplete. And Will was like, good, that's what I had too, incomplete.
Well, what Will said to us is that based on the angle of his
Yes.
body,
They
his
couldn't tell.
back was to Will.
Yeah, they could.
Even though it was normally supposed to be his call, it would be Will's call in that spot.
It kind of looked
The other
like
ref had the better
it came
spot.
out
Yes.
after everything. Like when he was trying to get up, that's when the ball came out.
So,
That's when it
that's
flew
what,
out.
yeah, that's
Right.
what,
That's why I was like,
so when we,
I just did it again.
Did you just use a psych out like it's basketball?
Yeah, he just
On a
said,
fucking, what's that, a PAT?
I threw a pick six. Oh,
So everything is fair play then. Bet next year in the A7FL, if you throw a
All
pick
right.
six, you get to just tickle a dude until he drops the ball.
if he allows us to step in,
Well, there's always the prostate check tackle.
And speaking of Black Air Force energy,
Yeah, the coach of the Insomniacs rocking black Air
Yeah.
Forces to the gym. As a native New Yorker,
Strike
I
up the band.
respect it. I respect that.
DJ
energy.
Mastics, that's your boy.
Yeah.
Listen, by the way, DJ Mastics just for some reason changed his family to Jets, but I've talked enough about this Jets.
And also, great job this weekend at the
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
He did such a great job DJing those energetic great girls. Rascal.
oh my God.
He's strong. He's strong.
And now we are from Washington doing.
But
Oh, we're still missing.
I mean, hold on. It's the Packers. I'm cool.
But like this is like, despite any issues we might have with the officiating, this was one of the better officiated games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I don't want anybody to think the little complaints that we have about the
I don't
officiating
even
really.
think we're complaining. I just
Yeah,
think
it's
what
just
the situation is
observation.
realistically.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's not gonna be perfect. It's pretty damn near close, honestly.
And I
Yes.
think that that's what makes this to me the greatest A7FL championship game, because the game wasn't
Besides the guy who won chips,
Decided by the
It
ref.
wasn't
like
decided.
The players decided the game.
It wasn't decided by a controversial call like we had last year. We didn't have a game
Oh
solved.
my
by a
God.
challenge.
No, and
I feel like I'm back in Anderson.
I agree with you guys. Like,
they're watching this with no context in that. And so, hussy.
This is about the ADHD thing I've ever taken part of. I've been in radio, I've been broadcasting for 15 years.
I just
of my
wonder,
I work
what type of substance are you taking?
me and Alex Silverman, our producer right there on the couch. This got Playboy After Dark energy because we're all just on couches. I'm waiting for Derek Duncan in a smoking jacket.
And Zach's getting in Max pose on the
Yeah,
shirt he's wearing.
And the shirt, you got that shirt
There it is, tinyurl.com. Go ahead, man.
/A7FL merch. But having the player, having the game decided that way makes that the greatest championship to me, because we had controversial calls in 2022,
Mhm.
2021. 2019 was very, Rob, you can attest to it. I wasn't there. in
2019
but
was 2020 doesn't count. I mean, it counts, but it doesn't
it counts. Yeah.
It was a blowout. No one cares. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Rob didn't even play. He was
No,
on the
I
U.
was on the youth
barely
sitting on the
played.
bench. They didn't let me play.
Because who were the teams you played against?
BIC,
Oh, yeah, me.
BIC didn't want me to play because whatever reason. But regardless, as far as championship goes, I really recency bias is making me put this in the at least top three, not three, so we can debate one or two.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's hard to debate that it's up there, but what's even hotter take, I think, is like in recent history, maybe don't call it the Matt Ryan era. How about that, right?
okay.
I like that.
Are the Nightcrawlers not involved with maybe like the top, like three of the top
They're,
five
they're,
games?
they're, if not top 10.
This is
But the Rare Breed,
Yeah.
the Watchmen game that we just saw,
Yeah.
and then this game, maybe maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but maybe they have three of the top like 7 games
Yeah.
in the Matt
the
Ryan
top-
era.
if we did the top
And we
7
barely
games,
see them ever.
Yeah. If we
They're
did,
guaranteed either blowout, unwatchable,
Yeah.
or absolute riveting television.
and that's the Insomniacs too. And in the MRE, because just I feel weird saying Matt Ryan era, but thank you, Corey. My ego.
I like MRE. It just makes it more awesome.
It's
Always
like if
more
we
madness.
talked about the top 7 A7 games at that time period, the most consistent names we're gonna hear are Nightcrawlers,
BIC.
BSC, and you.
Yeah, honestly.
And it's not even a fair fight. And it's nothing against those other teams, but holy shit, are those? And it's weird that we're in a place now that the cornerstone franchises of the A7FL are not all from the Northeast.
here's the issue with that statement. And no,
Oh,
listen,
Stupid.
listen.
Okay.
If you've played football and you've enjoyed football and you've watched football, you know, like I know, though the Insomniacs won, they were not the better team on the field today. They weren't. And I know this is the same thing.
They
that
were-
happened.
They were the better
Outside-
team. They're not
No,
more
no, no,
talented
no.
at the skill position.
No, that's what
They
it's
were near.
more in terms of talent. Being a team, you can make the argument for either because
No, I cannot because I'm going to be honest. Q saved ass. Fumble, touchdown. Jeez. But
And it's
listen, before,
I said, wait a second.
before,
And I don't want to really put you on blast, my guy.
like, gotta,
What we waited for is you to fucking get the
respect.
says the Omega's quarterback.
yo,
Stop fighting. There goes your Omega's contract. Listen, he is really paradox story, man. I'm
Yeah.
dealing with a younger, better version.
yeah, I'm telling you, it is a looper situation.
Watch someone like try and break another human being before your very eyes, and it's like a train going off the tracks. You can't seem to stop it.
Yes, I'm a child of Irish parents.
Excellent. So that's what we're watching right here, and we've seen it coming ever since we
Yeah.
adopted Portfolio.
Yeah,
we found him on the streets related to Ryan
For
and,
15 cents.
you can help us speed
With the
the
ultimate frisbee
shot.
habit.
It's ultimate. Yeah,
There we go.
I called dibs.
So as the game kept going on, there was one thing that I noticed, and I asked a lot of the players on the Insomniacs. So I wanted to get all of your opinion on the feeling of not just the game, but the crowd that was there.
Oh, the crowd was outstanding. Oh my god.
I think the crowd
Fed
was,
into every.
I'm not gonna lie, they were the eighth player on the field.
Oh yeah,
They
absolutely.
were the eighth
100%,
player,
absolutely.
and we've never. The only time we can that's close to that I can help the guys from New Jersey or anybody that's on the Northeast relate is when we were in Roselle and the stands were filled, but the difference is we're enclosed here.
Yeah, and
It
that's
was
Sound,
loud.
sound.
complaining about the
And there was
echo.
truly a home and away team.
Yeah.
In Roselle, these are all like it's either the
Yeah.
guy that just played.
Fuck the Cowboys fan. Why am I playing about that? Yeah, no, these were legit.
I saw a team when they came in the stadium. Straight.
Fucking flash and bullshit like that.
Maybe other than family members. Anyone who was kind of rooting for Tampa there?
Yeah, a few at the top. When I leaned over because I couldn't sit down anymore because the game was so crazy, a few of the kids were cheering for Tampa.
Okay.
So
And
I do remember.
So cool.
Yeah, if I remember, Henderson was out here with kids doing some flag. That's why he wasn't here yesterday. So I think that might be
Okay, I
his
see.
kids, but it was a small group. But I personally think that's the only thing that Tampa team has never dealt with in a way game.
They even engaged to the crowd.
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
even
they were
awesome.
playing
Wrestling
something.
Tampa.
That was dope.
Yeah, and we have to give credit to the refs again because we've dealt with many games where we've had not as many refs on the field and we've been burned because of it.
Right.
These refs had everything
Yeah.
to the point where that
Good pass.
blowback was allowed, and
And also the chippiness didn't get past a point.
It was really just Trey Robinson
Yeah.
with the trippiness, honestly.
Those hold on, let me ask you this though. Bagways dancing. I mean,
All right.
I specifically told Bagway, I'm wrong. Bad take. Keep dancing, my guy.
The narrative,
They're too good.
listen, the narrative of Bagways dancing being their kryptonite, unfortunately, every time we seen them do it, they fucking lost. So,
I said yesterday.
yesterday was a cut.
Yeah, I know yesterday.
No, they danced. They
No,
danced
they
against the Watcher. They danced. When they went up 2 scores in the
Back
third
when
quarter.
he danced in front of DK Butcher straight to his face.
Look how that turned out.
I mean,
Moving on.
I don't know. I don't know. The dancing narrative, it's funny. They lost again.
But that's not why they lost.
That's not why they lost.
That's an old man Corey Ham.
But you
You
know,
know, young man Corey Ham might have a better take.
You know my rule of 3. I've seen it happen before. Right now, this Nightcrawler's team, if they come back and retool, I'm not guaranteeing shit, but there's a very good chance they win the chip next year. Statistically, based off of, I'll give you an example. 2017, the Immortals lost the chip to the Chiefs. 2018, they go to Baltimore and get smoked. 2019, they win the chip. They leave the league. it's hard to be that close and then leave. I'll give you an example. 2015, the Chiefs get blown the fuck out in the chip. 2016, they get beat by me and my guys. Then 2017, they win the chip. When you're that close, that third year, for whatever fucking reason, whether your team is good or bad and the season's good or bad, you get it done. But
And
that's up to them.
and for the Nightcrawlers specifically, I feel like that's there too.
Yeah,
we gave the Insomniacs a lot of shit constantly. They didn't play anybody. They didn't play anybody. They didn't play
I
anybody.
mean, respect.
Well,
they still did.
Nightcrawlers played the Wild Card, then shit.
They did-
So
they-
I mean, that Florida division, although obviously, in my opinion, I think the front runners are the team that has the most to prove. Not that we need to see anything from anybody, anyone on the Nightcrawlers, but they have to live with the way that went down and
I don't
last
think
year.
they're gonna be able to live
And
with this shit. They have
to come back, and I
They
think they're
have
gonna
to.
win. And I think it's really tough if you're gonna be lined up against them in whatever, we don't know how the playoffs are gonna work next year. But let's assume it's very similar to the way it is. Whoever comes out of the Northeast is gonna be fucking pissed when they have to face that team.
Yeah, and
I'd be pissed.
I think that's
I would be
and,
pissed.
and when I was talking about
I'm not gonna
Clippers
make it personally, but I would be
in
pissed,
terms
right?
of like the favorites coming out of this, and like the Insomniacs and the Nightcrawlers legitimized Florida and Nevada today. It legitimized them as divisions. They got to the chip, but some people weren't thinking it was either going to be the result we saw or as close as it was. Some people thought it was going to be on the other side by a bigger amount.
It was there.
It was. It was.
It was 32-20.
I got
I got phone calls from guys in New Jersey said, "I can't believe I just watched Florida give this shit up again." Because that's really what happened.
But it was
32-20 at one point.
32-20.
38-20.
Me and Rob were talking about if it's GG's if they score here. They need a
And
turnover.
someone told us after the game on the Insomniac for a minute, I thought we lost.
Because they did think they listen. If we're all gonna sit here and fucking lie and think and say that we knew the Insomniacs were gonna bounce back and all, no, the fuck, no one
I'm not
sitting
saying
in this room. No, you were just putting it on for the show. No one's sitting in this room. No one's sitting in that fucking crowd. Is gonna tell you that at halftime that the Nightcrawlers weren't gonna smoke their boots. Q came out of nowhere with two
Twice.
Donnie Bunak angel wing plays to win them that fucking game. Listen, I've been against some shit like that. When we played the Chiefs in 2015? Best BIC teams ever. Ron, who's the biggest hitter in the league, they throw a stupid pass. Abdul, who's one of the best corners in the league, pops the pass up. Ron has a clear shot on the receiver.
Kill shot on easy.
Doesn't get it.
Doesn't
And
get it.
somehow, and they were, guess what? That year, the Chiefs were playing RP Fifth. They were playing for a player that they lost.
Yeah.
Fifth gave him that fucking catch and gave him that touchdown. Donnie Bunak gave Q wings because I can't pass. So Donnie Bunak chose Q to make me look worse and make sure Q got it. That sounds like something Donnie
No,
did.
that's not even calling champion ass.
I call him legend ass, but he's it's no way. You can script this shit. Got it. Better than that.
But in a way, it's right because when we went into halftime, there was a feeling amongst the crowd.
Come on now. They were shut.
There was almost a deadness amongst it. But
No, but
when
there was that play that the Insomniacs had like before half. Did that play?
Again,
Yeah.
move touchdown before the end of the half.
That saved the game right there.
In a sense, it was 25-20.
Right.
But then here comes the Nightcrawlers marching down the field. Scored very quick.
Yeah.
And then the Insomniacs couldn't do anything on offense.
At all.
At all.
3 and out. 1 3 and out, 1 4 and out. And it went exactly how we talked 3 days straight.
Yes.
I told
Yes.
I said, hey, Vince, Nightcrawlers will score, Insomniacs will score. Nightcrawlers, Insomniacs. Nightcrawlers, Insomniacs. Nightcrawlers will score. That Insomniacs offense has to come back, won't score. Nightcrawlers will score again. Then they have to do it again. And didn't we talk to Logo about that shit? That's a Logo.
Yeah.
Logo said 2 stops and we got it.
Yeah.
What Q did was negate everything that I talked
Yeah.
about in the first half
And that's
and
the
made the
thing.
game even again.
The narrative coming out of this game would have been the game plan, and it would have been Rob's story throughout the year. coaching against a group of guys who trust each other. Because in that conversation with Logo that we have, and it'll be up on A7FL social, Logo said straight up, we don't have a playbook.
Right.
We don't have coaches. We
Just doing it, shit, yeah.
they played that level of football in multiple formats, so they have a rhythm and a cadence. And things disrupted that rhythm and cadence. And the coaching aspect of it would have been, why are you running RTC so many times on important plays on the wrong side of the 50? They opened up into great plays every once in a while,
Right.
but when you're running 3 straight right up the middle,
It's not working.
yeah.
But I think there was a strategy behind that, though.
But the strategy
and-
on
The strategy was this team, meaning the Nightcrawlers, can, like we saw, like that.
Adjust.
Quick
Adjust on the
score
fly.
on it.
Adjust on the fly.
So to get the ball to RTC, who was beating the hell out of the Nightcrawlers all day long, why not give us the ball?
he would get
100%
No,
first and second down.
I was until a certain point.
I don't know about
when
that.
the
Mike Tice,
started stopping.
even
him.
Mike Tice said, if you keep doing first and second down, first and second down, first and second down, yeah, you're in a decent position to convert the 3rd and 5 or like 3rd and 9. But if you call balls 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 9, you're taking away the option that really worked for them on the 3rd down, which was either the timing route from Shelford or the deep route to Davik.
Yes.
So my thing is that it's Mike Tice that said it. He said, this Insomniacs team needs to open it up a little in the air. And in the second half, when Scooter was finally able
But he
to
had
get some
some
deep
time to-
passes to
Yes.
Davik,
Yes.
that's when their offense started to score and start to click. And that's when the game shifted, I think, a little bit.
No, that's not when the game shifted. The game
So
shifted.
I know with the
That's what I'm saying. Don't say the game shifted after you did the amazing shit.
no, but
Because the game,
the thing is,
they didn't score. They still had to score. You didn't. You got to understand what I'm saying. In
Dave,
championship,
how many touchdown passes did
fuck
Scooter
that.
have?
Fuck that.
6, right?
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Six.
That doesn't matter. And this
Fuck
is
that.
listen to what I'm saying. You gotta listen to what I'm saying.
I will.
In
Probably
championship games, none of that shit matters. Q hitting those interceptions woke everyone back the fuck. They walked out of that locker room talking to the Nightcrawlers, started acting like fans. Q woke them back the fuck up. And even though some of them throws that Scooter was throwing, you kept saying, sail it under. Let them fight for it. Don't fight for it with the Florida guys. No, they were able to get the ball, momentum shift. They got the touchdowns because now the Nightcrawlers were a little flustered. I'm not going to lie. They were flustered and they were able to get the quick scores. Q took one, damn into the 30.
Yes, he did.
And then the next interception was at the same fucking 30. 30 in the Insomniacs are a good fucking team. And you know what else we're not talking about? Great game. Great fucking game. The Nightcrawlers left 6 points on the fucking board. That would have won them the game, period.
championship points.
They're championship points for a reason. The Nightcrawlers missed 6 points. How much did they lose by?
We thought,
Not to mention that, they turned the ball over 4 times.
Fuck the turnovers, because guess what? 6 points that if they had anything else could have went the exact same way. 6 points.
They just needed to convert.
That's it.
They needed to convert at least 10.
Points, bro. That's it. It's just 6 points. Can you believe it? That it's conversions. That's the reason why you lost. I've just watched it happen in 3 or 4 championships.
And that's what makes this
I know you were going there.
way tougher.
bro. It's just
And like no kicking in the game, so you lose that option, that way
what
to
the fuck? I didn't
chop the score down and kind of attack.
Yeah, like nobody's gonna sit there and
I
get no free 3.
Yeah,
You
but I
have to go earn that shit. And the fact that they missed 6 and lost by 4, it doesn't matter if Q gets those interceptions. Matter if Scoop those 6 passing touchdowns. RTC pulls a handy at the end of the. None of that shit matters if you score your championship points. Teams need to start making playbooks with from the 5 you get 1 point, 2 point plays. You need them, or else you're gonna look like the Nightcrawlers or BIC or the U when you don't score them. This shit will cost you.
And as much as I think you're 100% right with all of this, I also think it's a little bit hard to look at anything in that game and say, and approach it from a negative. Because it wasn't like a team lost.
No.
Because yes,
But
the night crawlers kind of gave
all
up.
top Steve, so it's
No, I got you.
looking
But
at it.
what I just wanted to make sure that, and I know this is all of our opinion. It's not that the night crawlers lost as much as it was that the Insomniacs still did win.
They
Because
risked
even
themselves.
though that fumble at the end is basically the night crawlers giving the Insomniacs a chance.
Yeah.
They were still up by 2, and they still almost damn near fucking won the game, stopping the Insomniacs.
So I actually asked Kay about this, and he gave me the comment. Like, I mean, with the way Tampa
You'll play with the busted ass controllers.
Yeah,
with,
you suck.
Oh, wow.
with the way that Tampa plays, there's risk involved with certain things that they do.
Okay.
So with that, I asked, at some point, do you have to take a calculated risk? Is
And what's the
too much schoolyard bullshit?
Yeah.
I mean, at some points, just hold on to the
But
ball.
one of their touchdowns was a simple quick screen to
But
logo.
two of their, but two of their
That's
turnovers
turned into
had
an
to do with
Yeah.
that side out.
But here's the thing. If it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're a fucking idiot, right?
Now, when it's designed, I think it's perfect. And when it's logo, catching in the slot because they're giving him 8 yards,
Just to fuck with you.
getting 9 yards, right? That first play, he goes back in the huddle. He says, yo, same thing, but be ready for the pitch. The outside corner converged on him, turned into an option touchdown immediately.
But
The night crawlers were scored in like 3, 4, 5 seconds. Not plays, seconds.
as we say all the time, how you got to the dance, you're gonna die or live how you
Yeah.
got there.
And I'm not upset at what the Nightcrawlers did whatsoever. I
Okay.
know it looks crazy.
And they have
That's
nothing to be ashamed of. They
Not at
played a
all.
fantastic
Not
game.
at all.
And it doesn't matter if they make the stop, right? Because they still were up by the 2. They still had a chance, right, to get that stop on 4th and whatever.
Yes.
If they got through the line and they got RTC down before he got the yardage necessary, all of the mistakes and all of the bullshit and the turnovers go away. They're sitting there and everybody's silent in the stadium. Derek Duncan is not anywhere near as happy as he is right now, obviously.
Because Derek Duncan was unhappy. Derek Duncan said, "Oh, they're becoming." This is right before Q does the amazing shit. Derek Duncan goes, "Oh, they're
Everyone in that stadium
Oh,
knew
they're
what was
becoming
happening.
a wonderful team."
When I've been from the sideline, just the body language of the Insomniacs. Look at the plate. They look at the plate.
Who picked the teams in this game? Is this the all I hate these teams game?
He's from the
That's
freaking Arlington.
So Man Six picked his old favorite team, and I
So you picked this new team?
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, I'm gonna get Aaron Rodgers. No, you got Mike White.
I know I got Mac White. I'm gonna pick Zach Wilson in
Oh,
right
that's
now.
the
But now
difference. You know you got Mike White. You
Well,
still-
unless you're trying to fuck the other
I'm put-
guys.
I'm putting Baby Hef in. I'm telling
No,
you right,
But
right.
that's
now.
not that was something that
Baby Hef is going in right now.
Put your
Casey
your
that
flag
were
on.
on the sideline.
You put
Put your
That
flag up.
was in cap-
Joey Johnson is not.
Cole, the reason.
Yo, let them.
Surprise, you two being on the sideline, being able to feel not just what was happening with the teams, but feeling the emotion of the crowd too. You saying Insomniacs being
They
deflated
look deflated.
from what everything was going around there. How was all of that affecting how you guys were kind of reacting? Holy shit, what is going
And
on?
me and Rob all weekend long, we kept talking about, okay, what's gonna happen when a team faces adversity? Because again, we go back to Ohio. The Watchmen gave everything the Nightcrawlers gave, but the Nightcrawlers had a counter for everything. The Insomniacs for most of the season did not. How are they gonna handle that? And again, once Tampa went up 12, you're thinking, okay, if the Insomniacs don't score, or if they don't stop, if Nightcrawlers put up a 40 burger, it might be over. And then of course, as Rob keeps stressing all night long,
Turnover number 1.
Q
Interception number 1.
grabs it off the pitch and almost takes it back to the house, puts them in plus territory.
So they're in red zone territory, bro. Like it's not like Q. Okay, the first time he runs it back, he gets up by a fat man. The crowd's going crazy. Momentum starts coming back, and they're like, okay, Q got us here. They hate me for how much they love Q. You understand? And that's why it's very tough for me not to give Q the MVP because Q doing that, they love him so much that it woke them up and then they scored. Cool. Now you have to. Now you're still down, right? But they're not as dead as they were. I'm gonna ask you now. After that score, they give it back to the Nightcrawlers. Are they as deflated?
Some of the Insomniacs?
Yeah.
No, they feel like they're back in the game, but at the same time, the Nightcrawlers were never flustered. They never. They're just like, okay,
cool.
we'll bounce back.
We can give up.
We're
Right?
going to score again.
Yeah, we can give up.
During
They never-
every situation,
They never looked.
not once did they break from
I saw no.
staying.
I will tell you, I was on the
Fucking tell Andrew. Yeah.
sideline, right beside Will Franklin. That whole time, that Nightcrawlers team, whether they were up, they just turned the ball over, they
Just
scored.
ice
But
in the
it was all just the guy they call Coach Fox, just walking the side. He was quiet, wasn't even saying nothing, just quiet, just walking, just watching. The guys were talking to themselves. This is what we got to do. We need to do this. Hey, defense going on. Same defense that just stopped them. Get your asses back out there. That's what was being said.
Steve,
Same
Flacco
defense.
would have made
So
that.
that's very clear.
it is. You can see it in
Watching-
the word. They never.
And I want to know this though. Watching because for me, watching from the sideline in the first half,
I put him in and then win the
It
game.
seemed like their
I
biggest problem
telling you that's what's
was over pursuit.
Are you being genuine?
Anytime they got the backfield, it seemed like they over pursued him and gave him a room that he needed to either A, run with it or find the open man to throw it to. In the second half, it seemed like their pursuit became better. And they kept being more in front of.
I just think they Bagway got tired.
Well, that yeah,
It's a mix of that and also understanding Bagway will throw first. So if you over pursue and you set up that pressure, am I wrong?
If the lane is there, they'll take it.
Well, the thing was, is that I think that the way that Mark Bagway beats a defense is that he's better than any of the three
That's
people
not
that they
on
sent
the
out,
field.
right? But the
But you
problem
rely
was,
too much on that.
but the problem, absolutely, because if they had an offensive line, he could chill. He also had the corner.
Mhm.
I think he probably ran full speed in that, 3-hour period, at least a mile, hammering.
Well, it's
right trigger.
60 minutes.
And his Gatorade bar at the end, you saw it. You saw his.
No, I was gonna say.
He started stumbling towards the
No,
end.
no,
He,
sure.
he looked like when I tried to run just like from the rip
Do you
in the
think
fourth
that?
quarter.
Do you think that played a factor on the Timothy long pass for a touchdown?
Yeah, for sure. He was tired.
How do you
Here's my thing.
Timothy after
I
being
agree.
the guy that's run 60 yards for a 20-yard gain?
But I'm just asking from your vantage point, and did that what it looked like?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
he's
I can't let Corey gloss over this fact.
Go ahead.
And I need you to understand that the team I'm talking about gave up 6 points. They didn't score 6 points in the championship points.
Yeah.
Lost by 4 in a championship.
Joe
with
Flacco threads that
no
needle.
offensive line. On set go, it was full speed from the line of scrimmage. We're understanding that, right?
Yeah.
We're understanding that any other team in this league, if you disappear the offensive line, no one's doing shit.
I'm trying
They
to.
were throwing and running under pressure 95% of the time. And I know I might be off on the percentage, but there was no offensive line there, bro. When they did get a little bit of blocking, it was a touchdown. It was an easy touchdown or an easy run, or it was easy everything. And then we're kind of glossing over it and we're saying Bagway. Logo had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, we barely set
Logo,
up this day.
Logo had 5 touchdowns, and I think he threw one.
He did.
I think he.
I
threw
think
one.
the first 3 in order were a passing one for him, a rushing one for him, and a
Enough.
receiving one for him. Those are in order the first 3 scores.
5 touchdowns, and he threw one. So here's the thing.
But the one-handed one of the steel guardrail.
My God, that's just nasty. But that's what he does. He let us know that's regular catch for him. Just one-handed. The guy's phenomenal, and the
The
thing
fact that
is,
he almost had that one hand.
Yeah, the one hand touchdown, that was light work for him. He almost did that one hand.
I was on the phone with him maybe a few days before we flew out here. He told me one-hand catches is his normal catch. He doesn't like everyone else. I'm praying to God, and he did it in the flag game. He did it in an A7FL championship game. So he wasn't. And you saw what he attempted.
So that's just his routine.
That's just his thing. That's how he catches the ball.
How big are his hands?
Pretty fucking big.
I have from where I was at,
His
his Bagway's hands are Baseball.
Yeah, they're like mitts. So my thing is, if you give,
How does it makes that catcher's mitt sound?
it's right.
Effortless.
So if you give the Nightcrawlers an actual, not a block for 3 seconds and release offensive line, an actual stay in your face and block offensive line.
Why you stop?
Oh, fucking
Oh,
come on,
that's
man.
what stop the
I
rep.
don't think we're having a discussion over who's this and who's that. They don't have a line. They did all that with no offensive line.
Imagine if they did.
It'd be a completely different game.
They'll be back.
That's
They'll
why.
be back to the same scenario next season if they.
Thinking
I'll say this,
line.
when Insomniacs went down 2-20, I looked at Franklin and I said one or two things is getting ready to happen. You're either going to see a different level of dog get turned on by the Insomniacs, or you're going to see them deflate. And it seemed like
They were deflated.
the different kind of dog came out.
Were you like, was it shadowing Will Franklin? You keep saying I was like right behind. Will Franklin.
No, because Will was the one that
Yeah,
got
I
it.
mean,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, literally, it was a job.
That was your
Stacy was on the other end of the communications with me, and I'm saying, go to break, we're going to break, go to break. So he was the one,
No, right.
shout out to KC, making sure that nothing happened while we were in break.
Outside of
Yeah,
that promo, the Nightcrawlers were cutting on the fans in the
Oh
field.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we
stuff.
dumped them up. It had to. It had to feel good.
So I actually asked Doug this. When I watched Tampa versus Washington,
He's not following the rules. They want him out.
Tampa got in Baltimore's head
I said, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
with the chirpiness and everything.
They should be team anyway. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was one of the main things that kind of led to a little bit of the downfall of what happened with
For sure.
Washington that
For
day.
sure.
And she's like, oh,
I told Doug, and I'm pretty sure I told him this
we
before.
can't keep him down.
If the Watchmen can keep the Nightcrawlers out of their head,
They were not-
they'll have a chance. And instead of letting Bagway get into their head, they probably looked at him and said, okay, no, this is different now.
Yeah.
It turned on a different switch.
So the
Exactly.
Insomniacs?
Yes. And that's the way it seemed. Watching from across the field, it seemed that.
And I hate to be this fucking record that keeps skipping and going right back to the same thing. Bagway, Logo, everyone on that Nightcrawlers team got into the Insomniacs because of how easy it was for them to score. Then they go 3 and out, then they go 4 and out, and they're like,
18, it was exactly.
let's be real. Because I know some of y'all, everybody's going crazy about how RTC did, right? But in half, everybody, why the fuck are they running? Why the fuck? Because it wasn't fucking working anymore. Nothing was working. 3 and out, 4 and out, it wasn't working. They scored both times. Nothing worked. They were in their head. They came out the locker room fanning out, hey guys, the Nightcrawlers didn't give a fuck because they never lost track of what the mission was. Well, the problem became when a guy it couldn't have been any other player but Q. I'm trying to keep going back.
You couldn't have written it better. Like, honestly,
But as you said,
That's a fact. That's Dub. You watch them get reinvigorated off of the first one where he ran it.
Yes.
Now the crowd's back.
Yes.
Now they're back.
Yes.
Cool. The first one, we can give them that. Cool. How far with a second time?
Which brought him into a 6-point lead, and
And
then
then-
until a tie game going into the fourth.
Are you shitting me? And what do you always say? The third quarter is where championships are made.
yes.
The third quarter is where it's at. You let Q wake these guys up in the third quarter like that, bro. Are you
Split it every day.
So guess what? The way that Insomniac started the game, because their mistakes were officially erased, it came back to the even. You know what I'm saying? Two were 3 out of 4 now, get erased by a pick, touchdown, another pick, touchdown. Now, my game, hey, we're back. We can go right back to the game that we had beginning of the game. They're not scary anymore. They score, we score. Someone has to make a mistake. Now Bagway's tired. He did a lot though.
Yeah.
Now Logo's tired. Logo runs into the stands. Logo has to play deep. They're getting tired. These guys are reinvigorated. The crowd is boosted.
But that's the one thing that actually surprised me because we saw the endurance of the Nightcrawlers when they played the Watchmen.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were even getting tired, that's why I go back to RTC. It's like playing the long game.
Yes.
I understand at the time he was getting the stop. The Nightcrawlers adjusted to get to the backfield.
Right.
That's understandable. That's going to happen. But in the long term of the game, you saw it. It was hurting him. Bagway is an Iron Man. He plays both ways. So if he has to deal with somebody like RTC on defense, as well as having to deal with a constant rush on offense,
I mean, it was a lot.
Let's go back. Look at how the Insomniacs played their season.
Against
It was-
against what?
Yeah,
let's not get into that.
Letting RTC in his legs wear down.
Yeah, no, that was.
There is no defense in Nevada or the defense that they faced this season with me.
You guys called the game. What would you
That
think?
could match up to the night quality.
What would you think the average?
That was
attempts
saying
per
at the end,
game
we're
was?
gonna hit it off.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that shit stopped.
from the game.
It stopped working. So that's my thing. It stopped working. So even the narrative that their game plan was no, the fuck it wasn't. It didn't work. They started stuffing the motherfuckers, and then they started putting pressure on Scooter, and he was
getting
fucking
back.
up.
Like the offensive line, which has been great all season, it got in the fourth quarter. It got way better because they got the momentum back. What do you got?
Question. How many fourth quarters did the Insomniacs play this year?
Not
Because
enough.
David and I only count for maybe 2 that we can actually
Okay.
call purposely. And that's including today.
Both stick with it games.
Both stick with the games.
Okay, so that's
fourth
3 right
game.
there.
Force. That's 4.
4. Okay.
It's not a lot.
And that's not at all anything to
That
do
we're
with
just-
Insomniacs. That is just a direct response to anyone that is going to still, stomp their feet about how great Ace is in the whole division.
Ass.
And guys that were on the
because
stick
that it raises that question about,
oh yeah, the champs are in our division.
where's your
Yeah, but it didn't make it to the fourth quarter like the
Here's
Omega.
the thing. Now,
That it's been the PI's game on last
you
year.
haven't gotten there, but
Back
can't
like
take
they
it
were.
into deep
Well,
waters.
Well, the Hawks were 2-3.
But
I was involved. I know it's a direct shot at
the radio was
Omega.
effective.
it's not a shot point hand
And
there.
I'm here, and I'm
Thinking, I was just saying the first thing
Coach
that came
Fox said, okay, when he's running the ball, stop dancing, attack. They did that, and for most of the first half, RTC was not effective running the ball.
I think
But at the same, go ahead.
most of the game plan was working because who said it before? Because I think part of the game plan was to control the clock too.
He was 12 carries for 85 fucking yards before he bust the big one again. He did.
If an NFL running back did that on a
I
Sunday,
care what the
they
NFL
would have got $10 million and they hate running backs. And he would have been running back in the league.
It wasn't fucking working.
No. I'm not saying it worked all the time.
Listen, when he was getting
But
shit
3,
clocked,
5, 6, 7
he
yards.
was getting his shit clocked in the backfield. All of y'all had the same. Listen, I don't let recency bias and the fact that he scored that last touchdown make me forget what the fuck I saw in that first half. It was not working. 12 carries, 5 yards. A lot of them bitches were -2. It was a little chunks, little pieces, and he was getting bailed out, but then they were losing 32-20.
It wasn't that it
was
wasn't
not
working. Is they did it too many times.
They went and
For
did
it
it
to
in the
be
second
something
half,
that
and
way.
it started working again because motherfuckers was tired.
Well,
Not
no,
to
they
mention-
also opened it up in the past, so it opened up the defense.
They changed their defensive front. Go watch it. I was really paying attention.
But then, Rob, here's my question to you. If you're a coach and all of a sudden the run game for a brief period of time isn't working, do you completely abandon that game plan?
You don't you don't abandon anything. You take Scoot. You do what they kind of did. You put Scooter in the rundown. Make Scooter get a couple chunk yards. If it's a trade, like we're saying, like trading and get a chunk of yards.
Right.
Did they even try play action consistently?
Not a lot.
Not a
What
lot.
they did,
And the funny thing about that was, I'm on the side of the
Drop back.
it was a hezzy run, so I'm not gonna call it a play action. Scoot would act like he's gonna be the runner.
They did the one RPO. They did the one RPO where they started speed option and then he went into a drop back. That was awesome. It wasn't incompletion.
It was an RPO.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
Their effective pass plays were, and I called it, the stop route at the sticks with Munchie.
You called it. Yeah, you called it.
They scored a touchdown on it. They converted almost I think it was 5 out of 6 of those plays they executed 4 first downs or touchdowns. And they kept attempting the Davik throw until it worked. And if they hit that 2 or 3 times before that, we might be talking about it a different way.
Timothy,
But they had to hit it one time.
Timothy could easily have 3 easy touchdowns in this game.
A lot of fans wanted him to die for that one.
Yeah,
Should have done.
He should have done.
If
Oh,
they
yeah.
would, if they
I
lost,
if it was me,
Should he have dunked?
if it was me, Lord knows I would have
if they would have lost,
I mean, with a name like Timothy, you kind of got to.
that's it.
Anything in your vicinity, you have to hit it with that kind of nickname. I'm not.
I watched him run a 4-3. I was about to call him Anthony Hamilton.
I went
I was about to.
We struggled.
I'm about to switch his name up for him.
In the kick. Because if they lost, they're going to should have gone for it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because I'm like this. I'm just speaking for me. If I go out there, I give it to I got it.
pretty much.
Oh, you're doing great.
the defense that they were
And I
running
leave on the field.
at one
He put
I know I
up
did.
stairs mother.
At one point, I just don't remember if it was the second quarter or the third quarter. Whatever quarter was Scooter's statistic, the first quarter.
Just look at me.
What they did is what I've asked everyone in this league to do. Match up what they showed you. Send one in between. If they're showing 3 on the line and Scooter, you show 4. One is coming. Henderson was flying through. Scooter was throwing terrible passes. Terrible.
The rhythm, yeah, bad rhythm.
Yeah.
My fault.
Bad
The
rhythm.
timing was
No. Just like what happened to JG in the West Championship.
No.
When these Vegas quarterbacks saw pressure, they were affected by it. That doesn't mean that Scooter played a bad game, but he wasn't 12 for 13, 680 yards, 19 touchdowns. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it has happened in Vegas, I think.
But
No, but you gotta actually look at that. Scooter hasn't faced.
Now, he overcame it.
You're not. No, stop like that. No, he didn't. No, stop. He didn't overcome it. The Nightcrawler stopped doing it.
It stopped working.
No, it didn't stop. Guess what? The last time they did it,
Okay.
RTC was supposed to block Henderson. He didn't. He kind of let him loose.
Yep.
Henderson pressured him. They threw it to RTC, but somebody was there to cover it.
Yep.
Then they ran away from it. They didn't go back to it. If they did, I don't know why they didn't go back to it, but they didn't. They never went back to this shit. They went back to whatever they thought was working. If you go watch that game, which was going to, including me, that one
Scooter
defense.
just did. He said that you called a great game.
Oh, thanks, Scooter. Where is he? Oh, thanks, Scooter.
Oh,
Like, look, if you go back to that game and watch when the Nightcrawlers implemented what I like to call the New Jersey off defense, where they show and send one, because guess what? That quarterback is, I'm not gonna say it. That quarterback is responsible for one man. And if this guy's blocking this guy's blocking this guy, and that guy's blocking, who the fuck is blocking me? Scoot? I'm going straight after Scoot, and we saw what happened when Scoot had pressure in his face. But we're not going to talk about Mark Bagwell with pressure in his face because that was all game. There's no line. When Scoot had pressure in his face, they were down 32-20.
But I
The
think
Nightcrawlers left from that, and
But I think one thing that we talked about
what?
was Tampa's has great recovery speed because they broke up a lot of the timing rounds in the first half.
That's what I was having this motherfucker.
Which why Scoot was out of rhythm.
Well, Scoot,
Tampa's not
What?
Tampa's
That's what I was
recovery.
saying.
The accurate throws
Yeah,
from Scooter were completions most of the time. There was that one-on-one ball in the middle of the field that David Clark kind of had the ball knocked away from him. It wasn't really a drop, but it was a 50-50 ball. But what Rob's talking about is when Scooter was off the platform. The platform is when the quarterback's able to stand comfortably, step into the throw. When Scooter was off the platform, off his back foot, things that we saw Mark Bagway do 2 weeks ago and today exceptionally well. Those were the times that we saw Scooter skip it into the dirt like Donovan McNabb. Not because there's anything wrong with Scooter, but because as any quarterback can tell you, the pressure's in your face, period, you are not the same human being. And Mark Bagway is just not a human being. So we can't apply normal physics or rules of this nature and this universe to a guy like that. Or Logan Davis for that matter.
You can't predict it, can't call it, you can't do shit. Only thing you can do is watch that game, see some dude with a bald head playing D-line make 2 phenomenal plays in the third quarter that literally brought his team back from the fucking death. They were dead. Everyone knows it. They were dead. The crowd was dead. That's why the Nightcrawlers were jumping and dancing. It wasn't because, oh, we almost got, no, they were gone.
Because at that moment that you're talking about before Q did, that even McKinnon was trying.
He was
come
pissed.
to terms
He was pissed.
with the weekend still being success, even if
He
the
was
Insomniacs didn't win.
We gotta call it
because
what
it
it
was
is.
32-20. They were at the 12, right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Something like that.
Yeah,
And BMAK's the guy who promised us touchdowns, who was the greatest interview he ever took off the air. Sorry, buddy. Decided run into the line and fuck it. G. Well, he was there, bro.
And guess what? They didn't deserve to win. They were the better team or not. The Insomniacs are the champs.
And now I'm mad. I'm the residential Floridian here.
Floridian.
I didn't want to pick my team because I'm from Florida, but I had to because I'm from Florida. So things like that happen. So based off of that, I appreciate all y'all for everything. I got to get a little mushy here. I'm sorry. We appreciate y'all for everything.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We appreciate y'all for welcoming us in. I'm trying not to get there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And y'all-
All honesty, this entire weekend building up to this point, I'm pretty sure everyone kind of agrees with this. The build up to this point, the way the game turned out, from the crowd to the player reaction, how the broadcast and everything went down. I think everyone's pretty happy with the outcome, and it's something that I know us being, we didn't expect half the shit that we were able to help you guys out with, which again, humbling.
It's all hands on deck.
I know we appreciate that. But overall, this weekend was like absolutely fucking incredible.
I'll never forget
Incredible.
this shit. I'll never forget.
Never.
multiple
Never.
reasons.
I just want to say, I'm just a producer here, but the best team in the building today was not the two on the field. It was the team backstage getting this.
Like a bunch of assholes.
Or Snoop Dogg.
From the time we're talking about.
Or Snoop Dogg. Or Snoop Dogg.
Well, you must not have been talking
I
about
want to thank
The fact that we were able to pull everything.
Oh, okay.
We had some technical difficulties on the pregame. We were
I don't
able,
know what you're talking
we were able to resolve them in time for throw off. Everybody, and I was talking about this in the car. What makes us a good team, and you can say this about Tampa, you can say this about the Insomniacs. What makes a great team is the ability to anticipate what the next guy is doing before they even do it.
Right.
If you're that close to somebody, and we've worked this team, the New Jersey team has been working together at in this capacity for 2 years.
as a New Jersey.
With additions along the way.
With additions, people have come on. Everybody, by the time we got to the end of the season, everyone knew what they were doing.
You like New Jersey.
Working the Vegas crew. I do shout out the Vegas crew.
Have to.
You guys have been working your asses off in
Behind the scene, Mel is a super.
Yeah,
MVP.
shout out
Mel.
Hey.
Not only is he a war hero
Goddamn right.
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But he's awesome at what he does, and this
He is.
he does a lot of what our whole team does, like almost on his own at times, and that's amazing.
Working with
But let me just say the other guy of the Vegas crew, I obviously made the joke before we see, but what he was doing, which is kind of like one of those hidden yardage type situations that we're doing in a football metaphor, making sure that the game, at least production, doesn't go off the rails because somebody isn't communicating correctly.
Yeah.
But shout outs to A-Dub and Scott McCorkle. First of all, for Scott McCorkle for not getting a $250,000 fine.
Shout out.
Yes. Good job, Scott.
And he only did butt naked booty scoop where no one could see him or film him. I love you, Scott. Or Bjorn or whatever your real fucking name is. It's fucking. And not to diminish it, that A-Dub, so professional. We were calling the flag game together, and I was trying to break him.
He wouldn't
And
break.
I broke Rob.
Yeah,
I did not break A-Dub.
No,
I broke Matt. He didn't have a mic.
Alright,
He's not kept it
Go to
going.
break. Alex finished. You're great.
No, I'm gonna keep it. Corey time the bottom.
No, you're Corey time show.
This show, you don't get it. Takes so much airtime that they kick me out. And I was like, shut the fuck up. You should probably say it more often.
Yeah,
I respond.
Just remember, we all have a 5-hour flight tomorrow
Yeah.
with these people. Also, another important thing is, are you guys the fans? If you like what we do, if you want what we do to get better, watch it, send it out, show your friends, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it on everywhere, TikTok, wherever the kids are. You know,
the people.
Get this shit popping
You find
because
something special on JJ.
what we want these games to be better. We want really good. We want really good footage. We want. And I'm gonna ask the JAFFOs real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta ask it. So it's an early prediction. Where 365 days from now, what do we see?
Oh.
I gotta ask.
Hold on. Let me give you location. Let me give you
Beat us
location.
to this question.
Hold on. Let me give you location.
Okay.
It's not real, but because everybody's fucking like, oh my god.
Hypothetical location. Hypothetical location.
The 2024 A7FL Championship
Australia.
in Miami.
Miami.
It's
Miami.
it's in a closed dome, but it's in Miami.
Got it.
Fucking fine. No, this is.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Listen, we were about to do a moat. We can go down there and do a fucking moat.
I want and
It won't be
here's the
air
other part. Here's the other part.
Okay.
What?
Reseeding for the playoffs. So we listen. This is what I'm saying. Reseeding for the playoff. So guess
No
what?
slander.
Nightcrawlers can meet the Insomniacs round fucking one.
Mhm.
Who do you have coming out? Who versus who in Miami next year?
One versus
Championship.
So top down.
No, not even top 8. Fuck that. I want to know who's in the chip.
No. But under your conceit.
No, let's
The
first
top
say
eight
this.
teams.
Who next year are the top 2 teams? Not based
All right, hold on.
the
Hold on.
chaos fucking somehow make
I got to do this before. I can't put Massix on. This is literally his first game watching
Okay.
A7FL, so I can't put him on there. But we have to do this. You know what I mean? As far as 2024,
That's fucking tough. I mean, after what we saw today, it's kind of hard not to kind of almost hope for a rematch type of thing. But I mean, hopefully crossplay can become, with
1,000
interdivisions and stuff.
yeah, no, fuck that. Fuck all that nice shit. It's gonna be OTT and the chaos. That's the point. That was the point. That was the point. That was the point.
Yeah.
Hey,
Before we go,
goodbye, everybody.
before we go, just as a matter of, we had a lot of people step up today, as Alex said, to say we had a minor technical failure is not even telling half of the truth. There was a lot.
Why the whole boat? There
Anyway,
is a boat. Can we show the boat?
Yeah.
It's not stopping down.
I don't
Regardless,
know. Yeah.
regardless,
No,
regardless,
I'm sorry.
Hay stepped up big for us in this production, and we would not have been able to get any of what we did done without him. And I can't thank you enough from my
I
heart.
appreciate it.
Because
I appreciate it.
really, you came through for us big.
I seriously appreciate it.
I'll just close on this since pretty much
Hey,
I'm the new guy. First off, the opportunity to first off meet all you guys and work with you guys. I won't trade this weekend for anything in my life. Like I said, this is what I wanted to do since I was 5 years old. It's never changed. So I am forever endowed and I'm forever grateful to work with all you guys. Fantastic weekend. And the bottom line is this, yes, in the record books, it will say the Las Vegas Insomniacs won the championship, but tonight or this past weekend, the entire American Sevens Football League won.
That's damn right.
And it's, as I kept saying, as I'm saying, as the league grows, and I've been saying this all season long, the league expands, we all get to eat.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's just the bottom line.
And I want to personally thank you for all of the Lions wins in that mid '90s to early 2000s range, Charlie Batch.
Yeah, on that note, everybody, appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. 3-on-1, other side of the ball, the whole production team for the A7FL.
I try not to talk, but
I thought
I have
the
to be an
Jack
asshole.
Martian Marines. You told me a lot.
We'll see y'all next time. Deuces.
Goodbye, everybody.
Asshole.